France's aggressive stance on Ukraine has deepened tensions with Russia, as demonstrated by recent arrests and accusations of espionage. Macron's unexpected shift to a hawkish position is no surprise, as he has exacerbated hostility with the Kremlin. Moscow's claims of French espionage and mercenary involvement highlight escalating friction as Russia's investigative committee announced the arrest of a French citizen in Moscow suspected of collecting Russian military information. Europe's inconsistent approach and mixed rhetoric, with France's assertiveness to send troops to Ukraine in contrast with other NATO members' caution, risks entangling the continent into deeper conflict. The lack of a unified strategy undermines Europe's stability and complicates diplomatic efforts to resolve the Ukraine crisis while prolonging the Russia-Ukraine war as well.
Welcome to TFI Global, the antidote to mass delusion.
Paris and Moscow, engaged in a dance of diplomatic discord, appear hell-bent on escalating tensions, much to the detriment of stability in the region. Recent events have only served to exacerbate an already tense relationship, with each move by France to be met with a retaliatory step from the other. France, under the leadership of President Emmanuel Macron, has taken it upon itself to spearhead Western support for Ukraine within the confines of NATO. Macron's penchant for provocative rhetoric and hawkish posturing has only succeeded in further angering Moscow, worsening an already anxious situation. Emmanuel Macron is getting more extreme against Russia as he is losing support in France. His actions are intended to gather complete support from those who favor military intervention in Russia. The recent arrest of a French citizen in Moscow on charges of espionage served as a jolting reminder of the deep-seated animosity festering between the two nations. The swift response from Russia's investigative committee leveled accusations of nefarious activities against the individual. The committee's assertion that the information gathered could jeopardize the security of the Russian state, as the individual was collecting military intelligence. In light of these developments, Newsweek reached out to the French Foreign Ministry for their comment on the arrest, seeking to shed light on the unfolding diplomatic drama, but they did not respond. In Paris, a Ukrainian-Russian man was arrested for an explosion. The accusation, though unproven, serves to further strain ties. In a bizarre turn of events, the Eiffel Tower becomes the stage for a chilling display, with several coffins bearing the inscription "French soldiers of Ukraine" appearing overnight. While Moscow vehemently denies any involvement, the French still speculates the involvement of Russian interference. The 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings, which was attended by the majority of world leaders, including Ukraine President Zelensky, marked yet another flashpoint in an increasingly fractious relationship, as Paris decided to rescind an invitation extended to Russian officials, a move told by his allies. There are reports of French military trainers potentially being deployed to Ukraine, sent shockwaves through NATO, with member states scrambling their heads to make sense of Macron's increasingly erratic behavior. The prospect of a direct confrontation with Russia sends shivers down the spines of policymakers, who are all too aware of the potentially catastrophic consequences, as France lacks the power to defeat Russia. As accusations of propaganda and misinformation fly fast and furious, it becomes increasingly clear that the situation is getting out of control. The Kremlin has been accused of meddling in the domestic affairs of France, allegedly seeking to erode support for Macron's policies. However, Moscow had vehemently denied these allegations. As the diplomatic quagmire deepens, it becomes increasingly evident that Europe's inability to present a cohesive front only serves to embolden Russia further, granting it greater leeway to assert its influence. With each passing day, the possibility of achieving a peaceful resolution to the Ukraine crisis recedes into the distance, leaving the people of the region to endure the mounting repercussions. The present moment demands a sobering awakening for both Europe and the United States to confront the stark reality. NATO's inadequacy in confronting Russia's formidable power, Their misguided strategies had not only exacerbated the plight of the populace but also deepened the region's descent into the abyss of conflict and chaos. It is imperative that they acknowledge this truth and recalibrate their approach accordingly before the suffering of the people increases and the situation deteriorates even further.